Eshagh Al Habib, Iranian ambassador designate to Ireland, joins me now in the studio. You're very welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much.
Can I start by asking for your reaction to the news of this ceasefire overnight?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, unfortunately, this pointless war started without any tangible result. And now we have 2 weeks ceasefire for the talk, for the lasting peace and ending the war. And we welcome and we suggested our conditions. At the same time, we thankful the Pakistani officials for mediating, and we welcome to negotiate and discuss in next 2 weeks.
Did you believe his threat to annihilate Iran last night when he made it?
Absolutely, it was not the case. This kind of threat is not, useful, particularly about Iran. This was the third time they had imposed war on Iran. Once they supported Saddam Hussein, second time 9 months ago, and this was the third time. And this aggression made Iranian people to be more united, more solidarity, and defending in their national sovereignty and territorial integrity, and particularly their dignity. You know that we have a long 1,000-year civilization. It is not possible to annihilate it.
I want to ask you about the damage that was done over the last 5 weeks. In particular, the number of people in Iran who were killed as a result of this conflict.
Yes, that is very sad. A lot of damages happened. That was the imposed war by the United States and Israeli regime. And while we defended very firmly and we attacked them, their source of threat everywhere. But the casualty, as far as I know, civilians and non-civilians around 2,000 for the time being.
That's an unconfirmed figure.
Unconfirmed. But you know that they blindly, unfortunately, attacked everywhere, and a lot of damages to the building, public building, to the people's houses, and a lot of infrastructure in Iran.
And we're hearing now about this tariff that will be imposed on the Strait of Hormuz. And Matt Fry this morning estimated that this could raise between 80 and 90 billion for Iran per year. Is that accurate?
Absolutely not, because it's not. Nothing is clear yet. What is important, we said from the beginning, that the Strait of Hormuz is in our territorial, waters. And we said that we in coordination with the Omanis, that we will oversee the, security of passage of vessels from this strait. And but what is important for the time being is negotiation that is going to be, held in future.
Okay, well let's not worry about the figure, but there will be a tariff, will there, on tankers coming through the strait?
As far as I know, I don't have any exact information on this matter. This is something that should be decided at the highest level. But what is important for the time being is to bring peace and security in the region and to end the war forever.
But we do know that Iran has said that the strait will never return to how it was before the war. And what I'm trying to find out is, what does that look like? Because we have protests on our streets in Dublin. I'm sure you are well aware of this. People are very concerned about what's going to happen to the price of fuel from here.
But I can assure you that, as it was said by Iranian officials, the Strait of Hormuz was open, everything was peaceful over there. But this war by United States and Israeli regime made this catastrophic situation in the region. What I can assure you is that Iran will play a very peaceful role in regard with this Strait of Hormuz, but the details of the matter is something to be decided in future.
So there may be charges, and that may impact the price of oil from here.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yesterday, Iran's Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports called on people, civilians, to surround some of the infrastructure. And we saw these human chains around the power plants. We saw the photographs. It's abhorrent for many people who watched that last night to see it. And they say it's further evidence of the brutal treatment of civilians in Iran. What do you say to that?
It's, like many other misinformation, unfortunately, about Iran, particularly in the Western mass media, as it was said during the, 3 months ago, unrest in Iran that, caused by the maximum pressure and sanction and also the interference of the United States and Israeli Mossad in Iran. The figure was officially said by our president that it was 3,117, that 2,400 to 500 of them were the civilians as well as the security forces killed by the terrorists. But still in the Western mass media, they say that 30,000, 40,000, 60,000. This time, this issue also, from the beginning, Claire, from the beginning of this imposed war, every night, millions of people voluntarily, millions. My daughter is in Tehran with her family. Millions of people come to the street every night with unity and solidarity, defending the national interest and sovereignty. And these people voluntarily went, and some musicians, some officials.
But they were told to do that. They were told by one of your ministers to do that.
Absolutely. I am aware one of them was my relative,
Well, of course, your relative would do it because you are part of the Iranian regime, aren't you?
What regime in Iran? Iranian government is part of the people, people supporting their national sovereignty. And I assure you that all of these people voluntarily went to this area. Mm-hmm. You can check it with different sources.
So why, if there is such support for the Iranian government, as you say, regime as others call it, were there those protests in January? Why did that happen if there is such full support for the reigning powers that be?
Absolutely. I will let you know. As I said, like any other countries, you know that in our region, even in United States, you see that many are against this government. In our region, at least in Iran, we have a democratic system, we have the election system. But if you look at the countries in the Persian Gulf, none of them have election, But no Western, media or official talk about the democracy or the role of people in those countries, but always criticizing Iran. In Iran, yes, you're right. There are people, in opposition group, they express their views. But what happened on that month, as I said, because of the, maximum pressure, a lot of economic hardship caused by the sanction by the United States, some people came on the street, but there was nothing at all at the beginning for 10 days. But then the Mossad and the United States said, you can come during the night with, a lot of, arms, and that caused
Is
that
Iran
situation.
still executing people who took part in those protests?
I assure you it is not the case. Unless those that was armed and attacked the military, bases and the security bases, like other countries, if somebody in Ireland, in UK, if somebody attack a police, what will happen?
They're not executed, though. Your country is one of the top executioners in the world. In Iran, people are sentenced to death who were minors at the time of their crimes. People who commit political offences are sentenced to death by Iran.
That is something else. Some countries have their, their system, capital punishment.
It happens.
No, capital punishment. But in Iran, in my country's case, You cannot find minors to be executed. But execution like in Singapore, in China, in many other countries, it is in the law.
That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right. I just want to come to what was said about people who are living not in Iran, but who are, like, for example, Irish Iranian citizens. They were told that if they support Israel and if they support the United States, the Iranian regime will put their hand on their collar. They will fine them when the dust settles. They will make their mothers mourn them. Now, you can understand in those circumstances why the ceremony hasn't taken place to approve your position in Ireland. In fact, there have been calls from some politicians to have you leave the country, to leave Ireland because of this.
As I said, in Western country, unfortunately, because, it is not the first cases, unfortunately, that is very sad. But in Europe, if you look, in every cases, the policy is as the same as United States. Here, I was, my agreement was issued by the government of Ireland, I respect their decision. But when a country issue the agreement for an ambassador, definitely this is the duty of the host country to respect their own decision,
Mm-hmm.
But that time...
Just come back to that question.
Yes.
Will Iran seek out people who supported America and Israel in this conflict, Iranians who are living overseas, and make their mothers mourn them? Will you do that?
No.
But that is the threat issued by your government.
In Iran with 90 million people during the war, and these people, some of these people waving the flag of Israel in front of the, in the city center everywhere. And they are the agent of the Israel and United States. Yet you cannot, just see that nobody talk about these matters. People are angry. People, if you want to talk about the Iranian people, you should talk about 90 million people, not 15 people, 20 people, 25 people coming in front of the embassy and carrying on the flag of the Israeli. Mm-hmm. Israeli is the democratic championship, Israeli that killed 100,000 innocent people in Gaza and in Palestine and everywhere.
And will your government continue to financially support Hezbollah?
My country, support the case of resistance in the face of occupation. This is something.
So that's a yes.
For the time being, it is not. But if you are talking about the past, in past we supported the cases of resistance, not
Okay.
To
can I ask
arm
you?
them.
Can you ask you about what you feel will happen over the next 2 weeks as a result of these events overnight? Do you expect this ceasefire to hold from your perspective, your viewpoint?
We just see it very cautiously because unfortunately United States doesn't have a positive record. We were in the middle of negotiation several times, and they unfortunately broke their promise. And this time we, try to be optimistic, but at the same time we are very, careful. We are ready for any, thing happen. But in general, we are positive and we are advocating, because if you look at the record of Iran during last 200 years, we have not attacked any country, but we have been attacked by others. You cannot see, even you cannot let me know that in one case, Now also from the beginning it said that we are looking for diplomacy, for negotiation, but on equal basis, but on equal and respecting. If anybody talk, any country talk with Iran with the language of respect, we respect them. But we are not, like some other country to be surrendered to the United States, That was not the case. That is not the case. And it will not be the case. We are ready to stand. We are ready to die on our own feet, but not ready to surrender ourselves. That is
Okay, we will leave it there. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us. That is the Iranian ambassador designate to Ireland, Eshagh Al Habib.